Hey folks, what is going on right here, and welcome back to the Cards and Castles Championship Finals. Of course, if you guys watched the video that went out yesterday, that was part 1 of the finals bracket, and now we have reached this conclusion. Of course, the finals happening right here, right now. It will be Beastly taking on Jump in a best of 5 for the championship. So without further delay, I'm looking to get into it. I hope you guys are too. So let's just go ahead and get right into match number 1 of this incredible series. Alright folks, and welcome back to the finals here of our Cards and Castles Championship. Of course, it was Jump who ended up making it into the final rounds against Beastly, and he is going up with a Pirate Druid up against Beastly's Viking Crusader, which I think he's played a bit here in the tournament, especially in the finals. I believe that's what he took in the last round. There's been some time between the last game and this game, so... But hey, Asteroid, we're back. How are you feeling about this, man? Finals are here, and this will decide who wins our entire tournament.
Yeah, that's really exciting. I'm super curious to see how this goes. They're both great players and kind of like a clash of two worlds almost. Jump doesn't play as frequently these days, but he's been playing like day in, day out, so it's gonna be really cool to see who comes out on top.
For sure, and I think that's what we've actually seen just a lot of in general with this tournament. A lot of faces returning, some of them more well-known than others, especially for me being around as long as I have. I saw a lot of faces pop up, both old and new, and that's always great to see. But now we're going to start getting into the actual matchup here with Elvish Thief making the first move, the first kill, as Lumberjack goes down to an Elvish Thief. That's going to be staying alive. I like how he also has most of this deck foiled, just to flex.
Doesn't he have foil dagger storm?
That's true.
So he's setting up for Armory in the corner.
Which probably might be the way he wants to go here. I think he's debating on whether or not to go for... I would go Armory first, just in case that Lumberjack falls. Yeah.
Right.
And if you hit the Armory, so what? It's only going to be 2. It's not like you'll lose the Armory. There's no direct burn or removal in this, except for Reclaim, which I'm confident Beastly doesn't run.
Yeah, he might be worried about like one chain lightning hitting it.
Oh, alright, so...
Small things.
I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice the Lumberjack up front. Going to protect the Elvish Thief just a little bit more. He wants to kind of get more use out of that before putting it away. And of course, with Master Arms making an appearance, that's going to be something I think he wants to put that Elvish Thief into. There is the retreat. We could see potentially a Dagger Storm here. Do you think?
Maybe. Looks like he's going to go for it.
I mean,
have to hit 2 on the Master.
Yeah, 2 would be the ideal to hit on them. I mean, there's only 2 targets, so you have a good... Okay, yeah. Oh, jeez. A little too much there, but okay, that's fine. Now you're just going to have to deal with a little bit of a buffed up rider. I think you are going to have to train the Lumberjack here, though. You've committed to it. You don't want to let him have the face damage at this point.
Yeah. The rider's only going to trade as good as it was going to.
He pulled up a nice top deck, too, though.
The question is if you want Hovel and Armory on the same side here.
Yeah, especially since Chain is so relevant in this deck, or at least it could be. I don't know exactly, but I mean, that is a Viking deck after all. Looks like we are going to go for it, though. And then position Elvish Thief. Probably, yeah. Okay, so to where the rider can't exactly interact with it, but also being a little bit more of a threat on the board.
Yeah. This second Armory in hand is a bit of a brick right now. And you don't really want to put it behind your castle.
Ooh.
So Beastly's going to start pushing for what would appear to be Lightning Blade he'd like to play.
Perhaps. I think you have an opportunity here because you've got 2 Centaurs in hand. I'm not super confident with the second Armory play. I think I would like to see a Centaur bot maybe the Peasant in the back, that supporting Peasant next to the Rider, and then put the Rat out to block. That could do some work for you, and then if you want to even trade that front Peasant with the Thief, generate that, extra treasure for the next turn.
Especially for me, I'm fairly certain Beastly's running Reanimate.
Yeah.
The Armory play would have given him a 4-unit reanimate.
Oh, okay. That is fair. I think that was a fair. I would have thought peasant might have been what we go for, but no, actually now thinking back on that with reanimate being potentially in the deck, it's nice that that interaction happened the way it did. It kind of cuts BC off from playing a reanimate this turn at all. So you were seeing here, he's forced to bring out that second rally of the town. And granted, I mean, Jump can't really do a whole lot to it, thanks to, just the nature of his deck colors. He's got Dwarven Scope, but nothing to rampage into it. He's 1 gold short off of an Archdruid, which would have been somewhat helpful. Um, what do you think he's got here for a play, do you think?
I think he's really looking for a Cannoneer or Swordsman, which will help stabilize. But this Hovel Armory looking pretty dead unless he throws down the second Centaur. And once you put down the second Centaur, basically has free reign with the back line, basically.
Right.
Getting into late game territory, that could be a fair bet to make that whatever Beasley puts on his back line won't make a big enough difference.
I think at this point, I would like to maybe see that armory go down as much as it would kind of be sort of an iffy play. Just having that extra armory to keep your buffs alive, because that's really what's keeping Jump, I think, in the game. Just having some sort of buff advantage over these baseline units from Beastly, despite Beastly having the incredible numbers game in his advantage. And there is Temple making an appearance, okay, so that's going to be very problematic. Temple will sort of negate Hassan City Guard if that was supposed to be a reanimate. I mean, if we did without the Temple, we could have gotten an easy 2 reanimate off on that, but, I mean, okay.
Yeah, you have to wonder if maybe that's a podcast that he doesn't have reanimate in hand, or if he was just doing that because he wants the damage and
Oh,
doesn't
there's a
particularly.
big pickup for Jump, though.
He has to sack it though, so it's not going to get a whole lot of value.
He has Armory, though, so it survives the trade. No? 2,
Oh,
it's just,
oh right.
yeah. Because then again, that
Yeah,
Armory hasn't been lost yet, folks, so this trade can go through and go in Jump's favor, keeping the Robins alive to interact with 1 more unit and have 5 more gold to work with. We could probably see a second armory go down. Yeah, I mean, I would. You have the gold for it, and you might lose that top one anyway based on what Beaksy does in the next turn.
you really have to play for the late game here because you're likely to lose your backline at some point.
Unless you want to be really pog about it and put Dwarven Scope on that rat, get rid of the peasant, and protect that back row a little bit more.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that, but I think Jump's going to save the Dwarven scope for whatever late game potential he can pull out.
For sure, for sure. He's not really doing anything, though. I think Jump's biggest flaw is really showing. It's really showing up here, just letting the timer go and being very dangerous about it. So nothing going to be played with that additional gold. We're going to see, yep, Lightning Blade hit the board. So there goes Jump's back row. That does eliminate the Robins as well. Peasant given free reign to chop 3 more off of the face. And then Knight of Flowers for the follow-up. Not too bad for BC, I would say, but now, I mean, we've got potentially a big play from Jump here.
Yeah, so
Archdruid
we're
gonna
going to
hit the
see our
board.
Druid army. Yeah.
I think if I was Jump, I would play Archdruid and trade in the bottom Trent with that first pet. Okay, well, nah. What are we doing? Show us the big. He needs to. I would play on top. Okay, or not. I was trying to figure out because there is, I think, a potential for the Spirit Link to work in such a way that we only have to put in 1 Trent and keep another one alive. Because that one might go, yeah, to the bottom one. That's going to take a bit of damage there. We're going to lose this Leanna right here off of the... Well, not Leanna. We're going to lose the Trent. But, okay. I guess that's fine.
Trent has enough health to survive the Knight of Flowers, but the Knight of Flowers stays on the
Uh-oh.
board.
Arcane
Ah,
Stick. Yep, there it is.
Swordsman.
Dirty play here. I think BC has to actually think about this, because Tree is going to take at least 3 of these rats, unless something else goes in first. Yep, okay, so Rat's gonna go in there. Rat's gonna take a bit out of this.
Ooh, that oh, he wants to save the Knight of Flowers.
Alright, I mean, that's also fine. Oh, because we have a second Mystic Journey. That's gross.
See.
Oh.
Oh no.
Uh, I mean, it's not the end of the game, but in very dangerous territory, unfortunately.
You really need to see swordsman here. I
Yeah, for sure.
think even if you do get swordsman, you're losing.
Mordok, yeah. Nah,
Game.
that's not enough. I mean, he could do something with it, but in the end, we know it's not going to be enough to really do anything. So Jump gonna uh, scoop it up for game one. Unfortunate, but I mean, the double Mystic Rat play, nothing that he could really do about it. His deck just couldn't have an answer for it, if in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, Jump's got two more chances. Of course, this is a best of five series, unlike the other games, right, Astroy? I think you cut out there. Was that a
Oh,
yes?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we are right. So it is going to be best of five. We still have at least two more games to go here, so we'll see if Jump can turn it around. Now, knowing potentially what BC has in store, I think he's going to adapt. Jump is very good at doing that, so we'll have to see what he does in the following games. So, with that being said, folks, on to game number two, and let's see how that match goes. Alright folks, in game number two underway here, of course, Jump actually switched it up here, going with the Pirate Warlock instead of the Pirate Druid up against Beastly, who changed himself into a Warlock Viking. Astra, any thoughts about Warlock being brought into the mix on both sides here?
Um, I don't know. It's certainly a good faction, and I guess we'll just see how it changes the dynamic here.
I mean,
Um,
I'm pretty confident as to why Jump changed. Obviously, Mystic Rats and the potential for a reanimate as well prompts you to kind of start thinking maybe AoE is going to be what you might need. I don't know though on BC side of things why the switch up happened. Kind of curious on that end, but we'll just have to see as the match goes on, see if maybe it's not what we're thinking. I'm thinking it might be a classic blue red reanimate maybe because I know BC loves that card and it's carried him to decent places so far. We are gonna
yeah, I'm pretty curious as well.
we are gonna see Maddie probably take the board, right? Oh, I guess we're gonna
I'm
position some
gonna
units.
gonna go out on a limb, say that this deck may be the undead deck he faced earlier in the tournament. Know
Against
that he
Vicious,
picked
you
that
think?
up. Yeah.
So kind of taking inspiration from Vicious and maybe using one of his own. Be interesting. Nice little symbolic story for sure, but I don't know if that's what he decides to go for. Again, we've only seen some basic cards here, Rider, Imp. Not a whole lot that we can really deduct from that, since those are two great additions for any deck, not just, blue-red.
Hmm.
So I'm going to go into the Rat, that's fine. Rider going to go into the Lumberjack, so that kind of telegraphs more of a reanimate. He nails the Mage Apprentice, which is unfortunate. Unholy Altar. Okay, so we don't have the reanimate. This could be a chance for Jump to build up a little bit in the back here.
Yeah, so maybe it's dead reanimate. Just the both of them.
Probably, and that's kind of a shame because that would have been a great way for basically getting an early advantage in the matchup if he had put in those units and got a reanimate. Because two potentially big wraiths with the way Jump's boarded position now, could have done some great things for him. But we are gonna go with the White Knight for Jump's side of the board here, which is fine. We have an armory for next turn. We could save that and really surprise BC with it later on. That's going to be a Dark Bender. Again, pretty generic. Not sure what we can expect out of that yet. Maybe Demonic Rage if we're lucky.
Maybe. I think at this point, it's just gonna have to be waiting on an option. whatever it may be, some way to this Dark Bender deal with it.
I mean, it looks like we might be trying to lure in the Darkbender by placing another Hovel out on the board, just so that way we can, maybe with the threat of dual Hovel, just tempt Beastly to bring in that Darkbender and sacrifice it in a way.
I'd be really worried about something like Flamestorm and Fear.
Oh, for sure. I'm just kind of throwing it out there, playing devil's advocate as to the reasoning behind it, because that Darkbender can easily wipe out the Hovel right now. But again, Beastly should know there's probably more up Jump Sleeve than just kind of sacking away a Hovel. But who knows? We'll just have to see. It's a shame though, because Jump isn't drawing sort of like the cards he would need. I think he needs some more, mid-game beef, and White Knight isn't really the beef I expect to win this for him.
Right. He's getting into dangerous Dragon's Fire value where it's just gonna destroy his board.
I mean, to be fair, Jump can do some good things with Dragon's Fire in this turn. Significantly weaken Darkbender. We wipe out 2 zombies, an imp, a lumberjack. Some decent value there, especially with Beastly sort of getting low on cards as well. Although lumberjack will put
Interested to
another.
see if he takes it. May want to wait, just see how much value he can get out of it. It's a tempting thing that happens with Dragon's Fire.
I think we might be
You
seeing that.
never, yeah, you want to hold on to it as long as you can, but like sometimes it's a trap you can fall into.
That is true, because especially when you get into like turn 7, or even turn 6 with a metal, you can easily have your opponent pop out like a double, like more global buffs, like an Armory Fat Bard in this kind of deck, and then that just completely loses you Dragon's Fire value because everything will end up surviving past that 3 health threshold that Dragon's Fire is
Yeah.
so good at taking out. I'm kind of nervous though for Beastly. He doesn't really have much of a presence on his own here. I haven't really seen a beefy unit other than Darkbender. If I think about it.
Even so, this Darkbender is just getting so much control over the game.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's done so much. Really, just put Jump at a disadvantage where he can't push the way he wants to. Because I can imagine right now, if this Darkbender wasn't on the board, this white would have been all over Beastly's face.
Indeed.
Okay, Arcfire. So there goes the Armory. Unfortunate. Freezing Pillar. Again, unfortunate, but not. Oh. Oh, I don't like that. So to me, this
Huh.
telegraphs chain. If we're gonna try, well, I guess we actually took out the. So maybe not.
I think Dragon's Fire be good about now.
Yeah, you're taking off 3 zombies. You're eliminating the. Well, I guess you can eliminate the imp really with this rat here and still avoid that chain. But you have zombie moving in, and that could also be very impactful.
Worrisome parts the lumberjack, I guess.
Hmm.
We still have one hovel though, unless it's temple.
Well, that zombie can't reach anyway.
I mean the dark bender with temple, but you can separate from your hovel. Hard
Oh,
to
right,
say.
right, 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 right. I'm surprised we haven't
Hmm.
really tried to move this white knight out either for Jump.
Yeah,
That's
he's really holding on to it.
okay.
Could be just the thing he needs to lure it in.
So Necro hits the board. That's fine. It's just a generic undead global buff. That could block for Darkbender though. Well, actually, no, that's too far out. Never mind. So if we can draw a global buff here, which we can eliminate Darkbender.
That's that's beautiful.
I mean, that we have to take it. I think we have to take it. That Darkbender has had so much control over the game that we just have to get rid of it at this point.
Yeah, Beastly misplayed it, not putting Necro out there. Not playing against Chain, so it wasn't much threat putting it out in front. But
Hmm.
that's what he took. I suppose if you'd put it out in front, you'd be susceptible to like 4 damage burn, and then the rat trades, and you still lose Darkbender.
I guess, but still, Necromancer is one of those units that can pretty easily survive, especially given the state of the board. I mean, we'll.
I think Beasley weighed his options there and ended up choosing a lower value outcome.
I mean, unless this Necro is supposed to play a much grander purpose in the long scheme, in the greater scheme, excuse me, than we just don't see right now. I mean, obviously we can't see Beasley's hand. You know, a dirty contender in this deck could be Rakanoth. One Rakanoth from Beasley could absolutely wipe this board. And there's a Mordok. Alright, not exactly the strongest pull. We're going to go ahead and sack it into the White Knight. That's going to go Fear it back. What he wants to do with it. Just that way with the Necro, you can buy yourself a bit more time.
Ooh, Forbidden Scroll.
I mean, that could
How
be.
is that Arcanon?
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, that could be completely negated just by the Arcanon alone. You throw that bad boy out here, and boom, all your spells are effectively fucked.
Yeah, and with Forbidden Scroll, it'd be more likely to bounce jumps units. I don't know, it'd be hard to say.
I think we do need to get it out though, because with things that can exist in Beasley's deck, like the Arc Fire, which we saw previously, potential for things like Lightning Blade, there are some pretty big spells. I think if those transfer in a way over to Jump, it would be huge.
Right.
And it's just stuff that Beasley can't afford to lose out on. He might need a burn to clear off something important like the Fat Bard. He might need the Lightning Blade to just be able to kill something like the Arcanon if it comes out later on. You know.
Problem is when you play Arcanon and your opponent has Freezing Pillar, you don't have the ability to spell target it. You can put yourself at a disadvantage as well.
But I mean, right now, Jump doesn't have any spells, so I think that's why he's going to take this risk for now, because he doesn't have things like Execution or Blue Fire in hand. He can afford, I think, to take that risk if necessary.
So you're going for the trade.
Yeah.
Temple?
He would need at least, well, eh.
Temple even work? It would fear the Arcanon.
It would make I think it would make a weird interaction for sure.
I don't think it would go down though because there's a building. It would try to move through the building and stay there.
Mm-hmm. This is very problematic for Jump though. Another fat Mordok. Not to mention the 4/9 Wraith.
Spot.
Yeah. I'm not
Temple's
liking
looking scarier.
with how much rats we're going to get on the board. Okay, Fear could do something for us. Fear can at least stall us a bit from this Mordok, so we don't have to interact with it at least for another turn or so.
We also have Arcanon on the board.
Oh shit, you're right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And what's even scarier is if Beastly is running Rakanoth, you have Arcanon on the board.
That's right. Rakanoth's random targeting could end up sacking something in Jump's corner in the back there and dealing a ton more damage than, just a baseline baseline Rakanoth. Like, we could see that back rat get sacrificed off, and literally all of Jump's board disappears. That's insane. And meanwhile, Beastly keeps all of his units. And again, with how strong some of these are, the 4/9 Wraith, that's a beefy Wraith. The 5/6 Mordok will summon more. It's scary. It's scary.
I think Rakanoth is the one card you cannot afford to see here.
Certainly.
Temple
But if we're Beastly, like, what happens if we try to play it? Do we try to sacrifice some things? Like, I think the worst case would be, like, what if Altar disappears?
right. Like, I think the reward just outweighs the risk of it hitting something bad.
Right. So top rat goes. That's gonna hit. Yeah, that's gonna hit a decent chunk. To be fair though, it didn't hit our global buff, which is also important, I think.
Yeah, not nearly as devastating as it could have been.
Right. Another fear.
Kanon is gone and we can use freeze now. Dragon's Fire is going to hit the board.
I think he's considering Robins into.
I think he's considering White Knight hits Rakanoth, or Rat hits Rakanoth, Robins, then Dragon's Fire.
Yeah. Well, I think that Wraith is going to survive too. We need it. Well, unless we decide to fear that, or we're going to freeze the, or fear the. Excuse me, fear the White Knight. Or what? What am I talking about? No, fear the Necromancer. Jesus, English. My God. Yeah, fearing was the correct play. That Rakanoth is absolutely brutal, though. There is not a whole lot that Jump can really do. He's low on cards. He's got the lower castle HP. He can't really survive until sudden death or, win through sudden death. And basically
This
just.
Acolyte
Ooh,
is absolutely the scariest thing you could see right now.
oh, not to mention the Holy Bulwark. He's going to go ahead and place an extra health on everything, so that's a 1-5. 6 health temple, which you're not getting rid of anytime soon, and another a dark bender, which would have been great much, much earlier in this game.
For sure. That Acolyte is frightening.
Yeah, we need to get rid of it. Unfortunately, it does go down, so it can chip away at this hovel, which if Beastly's got another Rakanoth in hand, that might be a GG.
Fear doesn't actually do anything to this Acolyte. That's makes it so scary.
Right.
You didn't really have an option. He has the Rakanoth, he has the Rakanoth, and you're going to take another Rakanoth on the board.
I would get the Mordok out, though. You absolutely need the Mordok out.
You have to start playing the board. You can't afford to hold anything back.
Yeah, there's just so much that BC has access to at his disposal. And it's just looking bad. Like we said, one more Rakanoth in that hand and game could end pretty much. So we'll see. We'll see what Beastly's
Amen.
got. 4 cards in hand. Can this be the game ender? Can this be Beastly's second victory? Can he be one game away from winning this tournament?
It's scarily within grasp at this point.
It is. However, we still have one more game, but discounting that, there is a slight possibility we might work our way back. We're gonna blue fire, so that's a good sign. No Raka in hand. We're gonna go ahead and Acolyte, which is, we're gonna allow some things to get in here, but Mordok might be surviving, which is gonna be interesting if that does.
For sure. Beasley can really just bank on he gets headless off of his Mordok. And it's
Nope,
thing.
Pillar. I had a feeling if I spoke, something would happen, and something did happen. So Pillar going to go ahead, land on the board. That's going to neutralize the Mordok, and that's going to effectively put Jump in a worse position. You've obviously got this Acolyte that can do 2 more chip damage against Jump. We're moving into sudden death now. There's a
That's
second
game.
Mordok. I think if we are this late in the game, what can we really expect to do with the second Mordok?
Beasley just needs a global buff, a Rakanoth, it's about
Right.
anything.
Right, just anything that can end the game. Elvish Thief.
And taking the chip, you're
Yep.
done.
And yeah, that Salahar landing on the castle, no matter what he does, it's gonna be over due to the sudden death. Uh, that is unfortunate, but you know, I think BC just had the better uh cards to work with. I mean, not to say that Jump's hand wasn't bad, but just the early game Dark Bender, The Mordocs,
Yeah.
chunky Mordocs, things that this deck couldn't really handle without the certain cards, which we never ended up seeing. So it is disappointing in that regard. But hey, we still have one more in the bag, so let's go ahead and see if that one is maybe gonna turn around in Jim's favor. I mean, any thoughts on that, Asteroid?
I don't know. We'll have to see what decks they take to the board.
All right. So
It's
with
gonna be
that being
hard
said,
to
folks,
comprehend.
one more match to go. Will Beastly use this to claim the championship victory, or will Jump keep himself alive just a little bit longer? Let's go ahead and find out. All right, folks, and game number 3 underway here. Beastie has a chance at victory here. Oh my god. Oh my god.
He chose Mono Druid.
He chose Mono Druid. Oh my god. He really wants to go on to victory here. So Mono Druid Beastly going to take that to represent him while Jump goes ahead and brings in the Warlock Druid, which isn't necessarily giving him the best of hands here to start us out, I think. I mean, you can coin to the Rat King, but yikes, this is an interesting hand.
I'm surprised he kept Dragon's Fire.
Right, me too. I think we might have maybe missed the sight on what Beastly was running. I think he might have been nervous about like a big swarm like those last two gamins. Games, not gamins. Whatever. So we're gonna allow Lumberjack to come into face here. Call Beast. Yep, this is classic Beastly. This is when we first got him out of the gutter for casting Conflict Beastly. Oh god. So it looks like we're gonna probably fear the wolf back, right? We got two of them now. You might as well use one.
I think we're gonna spend the whole turn thinking about this.
Oh my god.
Ooh, okay.
You can coin into that too.
Wizard. I
I
think you know the wizard. Maybe he wants to get called down sooner. I guess. You really
oh,
need the wizard down.
dirty, dirty boy. Well, we have the fear, and we can always place our own wizard, so it's not like we're in a terrible spot here. Yeah, I think we want to get that wizard out. Maybe not so close to the wolf. Okay.
Yeah, opposite side. Even a little better, I believe.
Okay, there's Andrew. So, ooh, some good last will value for Beastly here. Both Lumberjack and Wolf surviving as long as they have. Did draw the Centaur, which is actually pretty good for us. Can
Is this deck
we?
deal with Andrew?
What?
How does this deck deal with Andrew? Got to get a tech kill.
Uh, we have Rangers. I
Yeah,
mean, later on.
he's gonna be at 9 health already, though.
We also have Rat King, which is nice. Yeah,
Wizard has rage.
yeah, he's debating. He's considering an early coin to Dragon's Fire, which I don't necessarily agree with. I think your best bet might be to get Rat King out, start, getting up some extra bodies, protecting yourself here at the very least. Just anything, Jump. Anything. Okay, yeah, I figured. So he's going to go for the Armory, and even
He
so much as...
puts out the Lumberjack.
Well, okay, in a position where if he wants to get the value from it, Beastly has to sacrifice the Wizard. Okay, Call Beast. Okay, brings out Big Bear. Big Bear is bad for us. Ramrus gonna... Okay, yep. We're gonna show that.
Okay, at least Dragon's Fire puts in some work.
It
At
actually
what
does here.
cost?
Yeah. No, I would say it does put in work here. Unless we give Beastly one more turn in power, we can bolt the Wizard, or even bolt the Andrew? Question mark?
Oh, I think you need to deal with this board this turn.
Okay, I mean, that's fine. We just make that Andrew a whole lot scarier, mind you. We get rid of the Rider, Wolf, and the Ramrus. We make Bear slightly stronger. We make Andrew a whole lot stronger. We keep the Wizard.
This is why you run Burning Sun.
Although we are seeing a major weakness of BC's deck actually coming into play right now. If you notice, he's only on 2 cards in hand.
That jump really just needs to make it through next 3 or 4 turns.
Which is doable. He's got Armory, he's got 2 Rat Kings in hand. If BC starts getting aggressive here, he's got answers, which is important. And he's going to even go ahead and say, here, take the Lumberjack, I know you want it for your Andrew, and I can just use that for more Rat King food. Or I can use that for Rat King, whatever the case might be.
He's going to take another 4 on face here. Really can't afford much more.
Goes for the Wizard trade, though.
Beastly knew better. But I think you Centaur Bolt. Andrew has to get off the board. You have card advantage.
He does lose Armory through that, though, which I think is a big equalizer in this game.
Maybe, but you have call for aid and you have card advantage. I think the correct play is getting rid of this Andrew.
Oh, for sure. I definitely think that is 100% our best opportunity here. We're considering Bear for some reason. Oh, and we did it. We hit Bear. Okay. That's somewhat concerning considering Andrew's size.
I'm literally terrified.
He has,
Oh my
he has
God.
to play something like a Rat King then this turn then. There's literally no other, like, what do we do? Rat King Coin Cultist? Like, that seems the best. Like, that seems somewhat decent.
Horrified.
I would say put the Rat King in front of the Armory to guard that. Like, I feel like he's panic playing here.
I think that this play works
You think
as long
so?
as Beast doesn't get a companion.
I mean, even then, what is he going to do with the companion? He can't
Oh,
exactly clear both. Actually, no, yeah, he can. Oh boy.
he's not a companion. That would be a horrible way to watch this end. Oh.
Don't you dare draw a Spiny. Don't you dare pull out a Spiny. Okay,
Okay.
no Spiny.
Traded the Banshee just like he had it. I was so scared.
Yeah.
Now we're facing down 2 Andrews.
2 incredibly chunky ones at that. And see, like, this is, I think, where Call for Aid has a major flaw to it. Like, when you're this deep in the game, I get how Call for Aid, it can be such a game-shifting card. But, like, you have no room to play it in this scenario. You have no room to play the 5 and get the Ranger out unless you're on turn 10, which, if he could survive next turn, he can very well do. But the problem is I don't think he's going to get to next turn.
Yeah. This is an absolute nail biter. I'm facing down these Andrews. He's on his. Oh my God.
You have to trade the Sunflower. You can't leave that Sunflower alive. You have to body block with you have to body block somehow, trade the Sunflower, and then pray. You have to pray that the top deck from Beastly is not a companion in any way.
Oh my God. You're on 2-0. I think this is the scariest game plan you can go for.
No
Oh
Rider.
no.
Oh,
Oh my
okay.
God.
Alright. We've survived. There's nothing Beastly can do with that Andrew except I don't know. What do you what uh
Oh, Manicore?
um
You play double Manicore, right? Like Blacksmith.
okay.
And you
Yeah.
body block.
Yeah,
Then you can
that works.
operate.
I would say that works. That's what he's got to go for. No,
Cultist works as well.
oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because you're still going to do the double mana core, right?
without the blacksmith yet. You don't need to play it
Okay,
yet.
all right. That's fine. Come on, Jump. You can do it. We want to see some more games here, buddy.
This is gonna be this is the craziest game ever.
I'm here
So
for it. I'm here for it.
oh my.
Beasley's top
Is he
deck.
respected?
He respected, but what is
Why
that?
is he- Do you think he's lost because he's down on cards?
The major flaw in Beasley's deck is that once he runs out of steam, there's no way for him to kind of regain it. And if Jump can push in for it to his face and really start chipping away, the game is going to be his. The problem that stands in his way, obviously, is this 12-13, which he retreats. Which he
Oh my god.
retreats. Oh my goodness.
We have the kill. The kill is confirmed.
This is absolutely big poggers all
He
around, boys.
jump. He
Actually,
he
wait, no, he
made the
needs to.
play
Wait, which one did he play first? I think he needs to trade the top one, right?
at the top one first. Don't mess that up, please.
God, imagine if he just, whoops, wrong spirit link, and he just. Oh my god, that would be so
Wait,
disheartening.
wait. Did you play the bottom one first?
No, he played that one first.
Okay.
Top one was
Okay.
first. Yeah, I remember. I remember.
Okay.
So I think what we need to do here, yep, go into the rider, go into it, don't let it live, place blacksmith up in front,
You
get mana core out for some additional body block and some,
gotta call
companion
Frame.
protection. Hmm?
Oh, companion protection, but like it's not gonna kill you. Yes.
I think you just want the body out. I mean, you never
Fair
know.
enough. Fair enough.
But like this is the important part. BC's pretty much run out of steam. Beastmaster, okay. Like doesn't really do a whole lot. Bear's an
And
okay
now we can
pull,
call
but that could
Fred.
be wiped out instantly. Yep, and then you could pull that back, hit the bear.
Honestly, I'd trade the blacksmith.
Well, Manicore's Spirit Link would also protect it as well. You have to remember that. So, like, I would do Cultist Retreat, knock Bear, trade it off with Blacksmith, move the Manicore in to finish the Wolf, play Call for 8, and get a Ranger on the opposite lane to really just end the game. He has to be the aggressive
You
one
wanna
here.
play? Huh? How to play Call Frayed?
Hmm.
Might as well just do it now. Not time trouble, please.
And then just get a Ranger out. Just get a Ranger out. Fine, do it. Like, please run it up.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. So we're going to try and sacrifice this cultist here. We're going to keep the mana core alive to try and negate anything BC can do with a companion. He pulls Andrew, and oh boy, that's not going to do jack squat.
Beasley's just scaring me with the respect.
I know. That's just what he does, though. Like, are we surprised necessarily?
Game.
Yeah.
It's game.
So he
Oh,
gets
wait,
hit.
he's not going
No,
to people. Oh, it's,
he hits Andrew. Ranger comes in. Sudden death is going to deal the final blow.
he could have killed without sudden death, but it's fine.
Right, and my God, do we now have a game 4 on our hands here after a very
Wow.
close one? And
Wow.
oh my God,
What a game.
he tried to be fancy, but it hurt him in the end. Holy shit! Game number 4 is now confirmed. Jump needs to
Oh,
win 2 more times if he wants to kind of sneak this out from under Beastly, but only time will tell if that is going to be true. Astroy, I mean, do you want to get into game number 4, man?
yeah. Being on demand is not easy.
All right.
This insane.
Game number 4, folks, coming at you right now.
Yeah,
All right,
jump,
folks,
come on.
game number 4 underway. Jump this time bringing out the Warlock Crusader with Beastly responding in the same way. And if I know Beastly, this is going to be Last Will versus no interaction. Astroy, this is going to be an interesting matchup for sure.
For sure, especially seeing his jump throughout Craxus, which Hopefully, we'll see him draw by some point, but is honestly your key to victory in this matchup.
Yes, no interaction is notoriously, well, maybe not bad, but they do have a small struggle when it comes to those big units, such as Kraxus. Things with deflect in general. Hard for them to get over because then the only thing they can really use is those AoE spells, and then they have to rely on their big units like Frog Prince and Kraxus if they pack, any of their own. I see some people nowadays opting to go away from the Frog Prince just in favor of more burn and more stall, which is fine, but very troubling when you have to deal with those big units eventually, like, like I said, Kraxus, or maybe even like Golem. We'll
Yeah.
see. Looks like Jump is setting
So,
up here for a Flame Storm.
I guess the question is Andrew worth putting out before turn 8? You can Flamestorm on the same turn in this matchup because he could get burned off.
That is true. That is true. Um. Oh, okay. That hit nothing Beastly wanted to hit. And now he can play a turn 4 Andrew. So I guess that's going to answer our question in a way, right?
Yeah, so he plays Andrew. If that gets burned off, then he can just play another one.
I'm actually
He can
curious if
demand.
Jump packs healing of his own in this deck because we know an important way to combat no interaction is to pack some kind of heal, whether that be things like Arbiter or Hand of the Saint, depending on what you decide to throw in. I personally think Hand of the Saint, a great card, one that's been highly overlooked just because Arbiter is so much better in the fact that you get this uh, big body to hit face. Oh well, there's Arbiter, so I guess we answered that question too. And Beastly, yeah, he's
Yeah,
not happy about this. This might be game over quicker than he expected. We could put Flying Books and Priest in, I imagine, and then just, yeah, say, here, deal with 14 health this turn or else you're losing.
yeah, that's. I think that's game. I don't see how he could do anything without freeze here.
Horseman, that could... Okay, that eliminates the Priest. It's like the last thing we needed to hit.
Just came back from a nail biter, and he's gonna fight this game to the last match.
Shit, yeah, that's game number 4 in a very quick and confident fashion. Oh, and we now go into game number 5. So, Jump, not, who are you? Jump did play the game, but Asteroid, we have one more match, and this is going to determine the winner of our championship. Are we ready
Oh
for
my!
that?
Oh, if this is a draw, uh,
Oh my god. God. Alright, folks, you heard it from them. Let's just jump into game number 5. Nothing left from us. Let's go ahead and take you to match number 5. Alright, folks, match number 5. Asteroid in a bit of distress here as Jump chose Awaken for his last match. Going up against Beastly, who, looking at the colors, this might be Mystic Rats, and this might be a not so strong interaction for Jump here. Or strong matchup, excuse me. I would
oh,
ask for your comments, Astro, but you're already probably gonna tell me that you hate every decision to go with Awaken for this match. So
Awaken is just. Uh, I have no words.
we do see 2 Dragon's Fires though, which if you are the Mystic Rat player, you don't want to see any of those in this match.
It's true.
I mean, then again, I don't know. Oh well, there's Hovel. Hovel is a card that exists, but that's okay.
I
Uh,
mean, I've seen this matchup before. It's usually about the same.
yeah, just
Usually,
about.
Awaken just straight up loses.
If BC can put all of his pieces together on the board, then yeah, it's going to be very rough for Jump. Again, the equalizers that are in his hand is those 2 Dragon's Fires, but once those are used up, I mean, we know BC can use a bit more than just 2 cards to get his combo together. Things like the initial Rat King spawn, the Mystic Journeys, so on and so forth. It could be
You have the other
devastating.
fire.
Now, do you go for the premature arc fire onto the hovel if you're Jump in this case? Do we want to kind of avoid that rat swarm as much as we can?
I think so.
He can't hit it with the Dark Bender. Are we going to literally sack Dark Bender right here? If so, I would play the Arc Fire then this turn. Or save for the Wizard. I forgot we also have him in hand, yeah.
Have the boast of the best of both worlds.
I know,
Yeah, Jump really wants
English is a
to
very
see.
difficult subject, I understand.
Jump really wants to see Headwood here, like at any point at all.
Right. At this point, Beastly can potentially pull out the combo, but there is the Hovel. No, what is that? That's a Temple. Excuse me.
It's getting pretty late.
It is. Alright, so if we are jump here, yikes, this isn't really going to be a strong turn for us, that's for sure. We're going to fear it back. There's the
There's
Headwood.
Wood.
Would have needed that. Well, I would say we could definitely set up swords for now.
Swords Panda puts you in a pretty good spot.
It does, but I mean, we saw Hovel, not. We see Temple. We see the gold count. If those two cards are in Beastly's hand, there's no reason he wouldn't play it now.
How cards that shall not be named.
Cards that shall not be named. If he doesn't, I mean, yeah, like you said, Panda gonna be a great way to just pop defenders here, which I mean looks like it's gonna be the case. We can put back
Ooh,
the we are gonna be putting back the Dragon Knight, which seems problematic. However, in doing so, we do land 7 on face, which we could could we actually save Panda and go for a Headwood here for now? We could trade it.
just
We could exchange blows with the Faithful Drake and have swords come out surviving.
get another trade out of the swords and put down a Headwood.
Don't do Dragon's Fire jump,
Dragon's
please.
Fires.
Please don't do Dragon's Fire. Please do not. For the sake of me. For the sake of
Like,
me, don't do
could
it.
just make the patience play. A Dragon's Fire and walk away.
He went for the Pog Dragon's Fire play.
Wow.
Uh, okay.
Going in, guns blazing. Says, have my wizard. And for that, he loses his wizard.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Blacksmith Dragon Knight will do the trick. And I mean, now,
Fear.
yeah. Headwood Fear, right? That's the cards to play.
Yeah.
Slap Headwood in a corner, Mystic Rats can't get to it necessarily, and boom, you'll be fine.
Oh. No, 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 no!
And he decides to kind of just say, hey, look, have my Headwood if you've got the card. I mean,
I'm just taking years off of my life.
oh, and he drew a Headwood of his own. Look at that, bro. No. Oh.
Dragon.
Yeah, that's what. Well, I would have to say Dragon's Fire. The Headwood needs to connect to one of the Headwood. Well, Jump's Headwood needs to connect to Beastly's Headwood. That needs to
But
happen.
obviously, we're going to top deck Rite of Awakening. So.
Oh, obviously. No, we're gonna. Oh my god.
Meditation?
I would. You want to start getting a body out on the boy that's actually threatening. Because right now, Beastly could also drop Mystic Rat and pretty much end the game.
Panda.
Yep. Here comes Panda Stall.
Panda Dojo, wait for Awakening.
Wait for Rite of Awakening. Yeah, I mean, what's Beastly gonna do? Replay the card? Judging by the rest of his hand,
Yeah.
you know, he went for a Yenaroth that early. Tells me that he doesn't have too much else in his hand that's really worth playing to him.
Problem with this is that BC just gets more drawn. The board position doesn't change.
Right. Okay. Alright, folks, and match number 5 concludes, and of course we are back with both players after a grueling series of 5 that went all the way down to the very last point, and It's a big series. A lot happened, a lot to cover. We're gonna try and make this brief though, just because the fact is it's like 2 a.m. here. We're all tired. It's been a long day, so we're gonna start off with Beastly, because of course he ended up starting out pretty dominant. I think he took the first two wins. Beastly, how did you feel taking those? I mean, just walk
I
us through
felt
any sort of
very
like were you feeling
I felt
good or
yeah, I felt very confident going to the third match. Of course, I was okay. I just want to be clear. I was not memeing with the Mono Druids. That's actually my highest ranked deck on that account. So that was a legitimate play. Okay, I was not trying to meme in any way, shape, or form. But the third match didn't go so much my way. He did have the two rackings, which really just put in a lot of work for getting rid of the big Andrews. And then match number.
All right, folks, and with that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy this, of course, not only best of five series, but the entirety of the tournament. Gotta thank Astray for putting it all together and, just the organization in general for it. It's really great to see so many people coming out, like I said previously, and just kind of enjoying the tournament atmosphere. Something that we kind of have lacked here at CnC for a while, and it's good to kind of have that back in a way. So, with that being said, guys, I hope you do, of course, not only like, share, subscribe, comment, all those good things that you normally do, but also, of course, join the Discord and watch some other people's perspectives of the tournament. Of course, their links will be in the description as well. And with that being said, guys, as a final way to cap off the CnC Championships, until next time, stay gaming.